Hello, my name is Jennifer Zimmerman, and my Google Earth project is on the different Disney parks and resorts around the world. And so let's go ahead and start the tour. Our first stop is going to be in Anaheim, California. And this is the very first Disney park, and it was opened on July 17th, 1955. Disneyland holds the distinction of being the only theme park to be designed, built, opened, and operated by Walt Disney himself. The park's iconic fairy tale centerpiece is the Sleeping Beauty Castle. So this probably looks familiar to you if you've been to Disneyland yourself. And our next stop, we're going to go ahead on over to Florida. And we are going to Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And on October 1st, 1971, the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney World opened. The construction began on the Magic Kingdom a year after the death of Walt Disney, although he was very involved in the planning of the resort. A larger version of the original Disneyland, the Magic Kingdom opened with similar themed lands with the addition of Liberty Square and Mickey's Toontown Fair. The Magic Kingdom's fairy tale centerpiece is the Cinderella Castle, which is more than twice the size of Disneyland's Sleeping Beauty Castle. Then we're going to go ahead and just head on down the road a little bit to Epcot Center at Walt Disney World, and on October 1st, 1982, Epcot was opened. This is the second theme park at the Walt Disney World Resort. Epcot is dedicated to the international culture and technological innovation. The name Epcot derives from the acronym EPCOT, Experimental Prototype Community of Tomorrow. It's a utopian city of the future dreamed up by Walt Disney, even before Walt Disney World was even built. The park consists of two sections, Future World and World Showcase. Future World consists of a variety of pavilions that explore innovative aspects and applications of technology, and World Showcase features pavilions representing countries from around the world. Unlike other Disney parks, Epcot's iconic symbol is not a castle, but an 18-story sphere called the Spaceship Earth. And now we're going to go ahead and go on over to Japan. And on April 15th, 1983, Tokyo Disneyland was opened. First Disney park to be built outside of the United States. Tokyo Disneyland was constructed on the same style as Disneyland in California and the Magic Kingdom in Florida. Like its sister parks, Tokyo Disneyland has themed areas, although instead of Main Street USA, this park features the World Bazaar. Tokyo Disneyland's iconic structure is also Cinderella's castle, generally considered to be a carbon copy of the Magic Kingdom's castle. And now let's head on over. We are going to go ahead and fly on back to Disney Hollywood Studios in Florida, also Lake Buena Vista, Florida. It was opened on May 1st, 1989. The resort, Disney's Hollywood Studios, draws inspiration from the heyday of Hollywood in the 1930s and 1940s. This is the third park built at Walt Disney World, and it consists of 6 themed areas. But unlike the other Walt Disney World parks, Disney's Hollywood Studios does not have a defined layout. The park features a massive streets and buildings that blend into each other, much like a real motion picture backlot would be. The park's original icon was the Eiffel Tower, but today the park is represented by the Sorcerer's Hat. It's a stylized version of the magical hat from Fantasia. It's right there. And now we are off to France. On April 12th, 1992, in the suburbs of Paris, France, Disneyland Paris opened. Go ahead and put this down for you guys to see. And the resort officially opened as Euro Disney on April 12, 1992, but was later renamed Disneyland Paris on October 1st of 1994. Disneyland Paris is the second Disneyland resort to open outside the United States and the first to be owned and operated by Disney. Following the success of Disneyland in California and the Walt Disney World Resort in Florida, plans to build a similar theme park in Europe first emerged back in 1972. The park's iconic structure is the Sleeping Beauty's castle, often referred to as the most beautiful of all Disney castles. And I think it's pretty cool myself. And we'll go ahead and close that up, and we're going to head on back over to Florida. Once again, back to Lake Buena Vista, Florida. And on April 22nd, 1998, the fourth park to be built on Walt Disney World at Walt Disney World was the Disney Animal Kingdom. It's the largest single Disney theme park in the world, covering more than 500 acres. It is also the first Disney theme park to be themed entirely around animal conservation. The park is made up of themed areas, and its iconic structure is not a castle, but the Tree of Life. It's a massive 14-story tall artificial tree. The Tree of Life is located in the center of Disney's Animal Kingdom, and this trunk has a bunch of different animals carved in it. So there's all different animals carved into the trunk itself. And now we're going to head on over to California again, right across the way from Disneyland, is Disney's California Adventure Park, or California Adventure. February 8th, 2001, Disney California Adventure is adjacent to the original Disneyland. Like I said, it's a part of what is today called Disneyland Resort. In 1991, Disney announced a plan to build a second gate in Anaheim called Westcott. It was a West Coast version of Epcot, and plans were canceled, and instead DCA was constructed as part of a major expansion that transformed the Disneyland area and its hotels into the Disneyland Resort. And we'll go ahead and take a look right here. So Grizzly Peak, the park's icon, is a man-made mountain in the shape of a grizzly bear, which represents California's state animal. And it houses the Grizzly River Run. It's a large rapids ride located in Grizzly Peak Recreation Area at Disney California Adventure. And fun fact, I actually I worked for Disneyland on It's a Small World, and when California Adventure opened, they asked for employees to work with them, and I got to go over and work on opening day. I worked on Mulholland Madness, which is now Goofy's Flight School. And then now we're over to Tokyo. Back on over to Tokyo. And our next park is called Tokyo Disney Sea at Tokyo Disneyland. So this was opened September 4th, 2001. Tokyo Disney Sea is the second theme park to open at the Tokyo Disney Resort, and it's the most expensive theme park ever built. With an overall nautical exploration theme featuring unique ports of call, Tokyo Disney Sea has become one of the most popular Disney parks in the world. Unlike other parks, Disney Sea has two iconic symbols: a water fountain with a large model of Earth called Disney Sea Aquasphere, and a gigantic volcano called Mount Prometheus, which is the exact same height as Tokyo Disneyland's Cinderella Castle. And there they are. We'll say goodbye to them. We are almost done. We are going to head back on over to Paris, where the next park that opened on March 16th, 2002 was Walt Disney Studios Park at Disneyland Paris. And Walt Disney Studios Park is the second theme park of Disneyland Resort Paris. Considered a sister park to Disneyland Hollywood Studios in Florida, it too features a show business theme with areas called Front Lot, Toon Studio, Production Courtyard, and the Back Lot. Walt Disney Studios Parks icon is the Earful Tower. It's a water tower structure similar to the one originally used at the Florida theme park. And now we're going to go ahead and head on over to China, where we will find the last two parks that have been built. This first one is Hong Kong Disneyland. And it was opened on September 12th, 2005. Hong Kong Disneyland is the first theme park inside of Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. The fifth Disneyland-style park, it consists of similar themed lands: Main Street USA, Fantasyland, Adventureland, and Tomorrowland. The theme park's cast members speak English and Chinese. And Hong Kong's Disneyland icon is of course a castle, and it's modeled after the original 1955 Sleeping Beauty castle at Disneyland. So this probably looks familiar to a lot of you. And then we'll go on over to the last one that has been built over in Shanghai, China. This one just opened last year. It opened to the public on June 16th, 2016. Shanghai Disneyland Resort. It's the first Disneyland Park resort in mainland China and the second in China after the Hong Kong Disneyland Resort. Like most other Disney resorts around the world, Shanghai Disneyland Resort features a flagship park called the Shanghai Disneyland Park. The park is similar to the style of Disney's other Disneyland-style parks, containing traditional and newly created themed lands. One of the aims of the park is the combination of Disney stories and characters with attractions that are specifically designed for Chinese guests. Other large-scale performance venues are found across the park as well. An interactive castle called the Enchanted Storybook Castle lies at the center of the park. And I think it is just beautiful. And that completes my tour of Disneyland parks and the resorts around the world. I really hope that you enjoyed it. There are several pictures to be seen at each resort. If you are interested in looking at them yourself, you guys can go back on your own. And thank you.